What's going on, everyone? Today we've got a fun game plan. We're going to be trying to create some big units with some new cards and some old leaders. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a bunch of one-drops to play and a bunch of small units just to dump some experience onto. So before we get started, a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, guys, and also happy Thanksgiving, as this video's hopefully, if I remember, to be posted on Thanksgiving Day. So enjoy your turkey and everything like that. So what do we got going on with SNOKE, guys? Well, we got to play SNOKE because we got to put some experience tokens on units, okay? I was thinking about playing Gar Saxon because the card we're really trying to pop up with is Emergency Powers. I've played a lot with this card so far, and it's been actually very, very solid. Dropping 5 resources, putting 4 experience tokens on something, and just smashing is insane. And SNOKE, well, we're going to be building up our units as we go along. The best thing about SNOKE is that we get to play a lot of one-drops because all those one-drops become immediately better with SNOKE. Something like Corrupt Politician is a 2-resource 3/3, but if we have more units than them, it's a 2-resource 3/3 with Sentinel. That's pretty amazing. Highly Bond Force is honestly a 2/5 with Grit and Bounty. TIE Fighter, both of them are now 3/2s, right? Other units such as Imperial Dark Trooper, Pike Sentinel, Phase 3, we got Sentinels to kind of block our path and put experience tokens on to kind of make it difficult for our opponent. We got a couple of events to kind of back things up, a couple of late game powerhouses like Darth Vader and Maul, a little bit of ramp and super laser and resupply, and we have the two of Axe Woves. With emergency powers, obviously this doubles the experience value. So if we get an Axe Woves down on turn 2, let's say, play emergency powers on turn 3, that is +6/+6 on an axe. That's hopefully going to win the game against any not removal based deck. So let's see what we can do with our friend SNOKE here today. All right, into our first game, and look at that. We've got a pretty good hand here. We've got double emergency powers. I'm going to resource a resupply and resource one of the emergency powers. Usually you don't really need 2 in a game, so we're just going to go ahead and drop our Imperial Dark Trooper. We'll see if they decide to deal 1 and 1. I wouldn't expect them to be interested in doing that, but of course we will find out. Okay, Maul and Vader are both solid. I'm going to resource one of them, however, and we'll see what my opponent decides to do here. Okay, so they are going to go with the game plan of, well, let's go ahead and power up our TIE Phantom, huh? Let's go ahead and go with the Supremacy TIE. And then if my opponent decides to attack with Peli, I'm just going to claim initiative and then just trade with Lurking TIE. You know, we're going to claim, get rid of the Lurking TIE, make sure that it cannot be, you know, this massive unit that we cannot deal with, right? That is just going to be too bad for us. Okay, Elia Kane could be interesting. Let's see what we're going to do here. Resource the TIE Fighter. We're going to go ahead and just immediately trade with the TIE Phantom. Can't let that get out of hand. It's going to be too bad for us. Now we can go resupply and experience token, which is actually pretty good. And then maybe do an emergency powers next turn. A little bit of interesting deck here with the Peli Moto. I think this card is interesting. So kind of cool to see it in action. Let's go ahead and give an experience token over to our Dark Trooper. They're going to go ahead and get a Scimitar that's going to grow. We're going to go ahead and knock this out so that you don't just continuously get a ton of experience tokens on all their units. The Scimitar is going to be, you know, a 4-power beater, right? It's going to do some damage for sure, but we're actually going to be able to play SNOKE next turn, whereas they're going to be kind of a turn late. So that's going to be really nice. Okay, they're going to go ahead and get a damage onto the Scimitar, which makes a good amount of sense. We've got Corrupt Politician. I think, you know, honestly, I'm going to resource the Elia Kane. I may go for the experience token on Dark Trooper, deploy SNOKE, Overruling Barrage. Or I may go with the Corrupt Politician. I guess we're about to find out, huh? Let's just go ahead and give an experience token over the Dark Trooper. Get some value while we can. If they kill the Dark Trooper, that's going to be okay, because I'll deploy SNOKE and start growing SNOKE, and then I'll just go Overruling Barrage just to kill the Scimitar. But if, you know, we are able to keep growing this Imperial Dark Trooper, and we'll be totally fine here. Sanctioner Shuttle. Okay. I mean, that is a good one. That is definitely a good one. Let's see what we want to do after the fact. Let's go Overruling Barrage 7. So we're going to go 4 and 3. And then we'll pass. Cruel Commandos, not going to be all that useful. This emergency powers, though, can be kind of gross in this spot. So I'm kind of excited for that. We've gotten rid of both their units. The escape pod, I'm not really sure what the game plan with that one is. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the game plan with the escape pod is, to be honest. Maybe there's some sort of combination that I am not thinking of right now. They may go Asajj Ventress on their escape pod, but I don't think that's all that scary. Okay, that's exactly what they're going to do. Do I want to go with Darth Vader or do I want to go with emergency powers? You know, I think I'll just attack with a Snoke here. And we'll see what my opponent decides to do. Vader could potentially get, 2-drop, 1-drop, or 3-3 drop, right? Because all of our cards are villainy. So that's going to be really, really solid. In debt to Crimson Dawn. You know what? We're just going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Emergency powers, create a big unit. 9/9 coming in. We'll see if they have some sort of way to defeat this or bounce it or whatever it is that they have. Confiscate a single experience token. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see right there, guys. All right, let's go ahead and claim initiative. All right, my opponent. They're going off. They're going off. Obviously, I'm going to pay 2 here. Not really that big of a deal. This is fun. This is fun. All right, we're going to pay 2 resources. We're going to immediately attack in with the Dark Trooper. Since there's going to be more things, they're going to be able to interact with the Dark Trooper than the Snoke. And then they're going to attack. And I guess we win. GG, that wasn't really a crazy match, to be honest. I wasn't really sure what they're going to do. They almost beat us with just space units, right? But yeah, GG. Alrighty, into our next matchup. And honestly, this is a match that I would be a little bit scared of. Let's go ahead and keep. I'm going to probably play the First Order TIE Fighter here. Just to get a space unit down. And then put an experience token on it. My opponent playing Yoda. They've got a million sources of removal. So emergency power is obviously going to be a lot weaker. That's okay. It is what it is. There's not much that we can do about it. Let's pass. Overwhelming Barrage is a good card, so I'm happy about that. Probably just going to go resupply on this turn. We'll see if they have some sort of way to deal with my First Order TIE Fighter. Of course they do. Cool. We're going to go resupply. Honestly, it's not a bad, trade since we get to trade our turn 1 play for their turn 2 play, but not the greatest by any means. All right, let's go ahead and resource one of the Axe Wolves. Let's go Elia Kane. And okay, didn't hit anything with the Elia Kane. Put an experience token on her. We're going to claim. We've got Maul. We've got Vaders. This is honestly a pretty solid start. I can go Overwhelming Barrage. I can attack here. May as well take out the Yaddle. I know I can Overwhelming Barrage, but I don't think I am interested in Overwhelming Barrage, just the Yaddle. If I attack base, let's say, and they have a way to kill the Elia Kane, then we deploy Snoke and they have a Rival's Fall, for example, then we're going to be kind of sad. They're going to use their Yoda action. Okay, they're just going to kind of stall out a little bit. If they go, You're My Only Hope with the Luke, that'd be pretty rough. But we can kill it. Resupply Carrier. Wow. All right, well, that is tough. That is tough. Let's go ahead and deploy Snoke. They're going to be able to deploy Yoda. And they blind flip, huh? That's kind of crazy, no? All right, let's go ahead and attack. I'm going to attack to get another experience token on Elia Kane. They may attack Snoke. They're not going to attack Snoke. Interesting. All right, we're going to go Overwhelming Barrage here. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Just kind of deal some damage here. We're going to have Maul to be able to knock out Yoda or Vader to knock out Yoda. We have some big units on the board. They double ramped. Or did they double ramp? No, they just... Yeah, I don't even remember. Did they resupply? I think they did resupply. I don't know. I don't remember at this point. Let's see what my opponent's got here. They're going to attack base. Sure. I'll just attack Yoda, get rid of Yoda. They may have a Luke. So if Luke comes in, he'll be able to kill the Elia Kane, but at least we'll be left with Snoke. And then we can potentially... Okay, they have a Vanquish. All right, let's just get an attack in with Snoke then. They've got Blue Leader. Let's go with Vader here. And what do we want to grab? I think we'll just grab a bunch of... Actually, you know what? We're going to grab Dark Trooper and Corrupt Politician. So we're going to have a Sentinel in the ground arena, and we're going to have a bunch of ground units. I mean, honestly, this game's kind of over for them. I mean, they could have, Keller and Beck and that type of card, but not really too worried about that. Luke's. You're my only hope for what? Rivals Fall. Sure. Yep, Rivals Fall comes down. Let's go ahead and attack in with the Corrupt Politician. Attack in. They have a Traitorous. Oh, that actually ends up being fantastic. Oh, Maul on the unit there ends up being pretty good for us. Let's claim. I was like, oh, Traitorous. Okay, let me just go ahead and smack it with the Maul, and I guess we'll see what my opponent does afterwards. I was worried about a lot of removal, and they did. I mean, they had Vanquish, Rivals Fall. Itinerant Warrior is going to be able to, heal up a little bit. Oh, they're rolling back the action. Yoda. Heal up. Do what? Yeah, that's not going to matter because we got Overwhelming Barrage Part 2, and that's going to finish out the game. Just an attack here with Snoke's going to win the game. Yoda's good, but you know what? Snoke's better. GG. Alrighty, and up against the Vader matchup here. This hand isn't quite what I'm looking for. I need some more interaction. We're going to mulligan this one. This one is a lot better. This one's a lot better, actually. I'm going to resource these two. And then I might be able to go like emergency powers on the Supremacy Tie and kind of go to town that way. I wish... Oh, man. It's kind of tough here because maybe I go resupply and then... I don't know. Supremacy Tie, we're going to heavily lean on it. Really, the Overwhelming Barrage is something that I kind of need to have in order to compete in this game. We're going to go Corrupt Politician. They're going to be able to start creating a bunch of TIE Fighter tokens, which is going to be kind of rough for us. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Cruel Commandos. Sentinel in the ground arena is not going to matter. Again, Overwhelming Barrage is kind of what I need. I need that card to compete up against a space strategy like Darth Vader. That's just going to go super, super wide. And with any luck, maybe they get a Sanctioner Shuttle here on the Corrupt Politician, and then we can deploy the Supremacy Tie kind of freely. I'm not like excited about that or anything like that, but might be able to do some work. Attack run, huh? Okay, let's play the Corrupt Politician, or attack with the Corrupt Politician. Supremacy Tie. Claim Initiative. Pike Sentinel. Okay, so I mean, honestly, we really only have one option here. And that's to emergency powers up this unit. If we do that, though, and they have an answer, it's going to be so bad for us. So what do I do instead? I think we just go experience token on Supremacy Tie. If they have an answer for it, it's bad either way. So if they have an answer, emergency powers obviously just immediate lose. If they have an answer for it, we're probably still losing, like a Sanctioner Shuttle, for example. If they don't have an answer, then we might have a chance here. Like right now, we have to kill the Victor Leader, and then they can trade. I mean, again, not great. But at least we're going to be able to deploy Snoke next turn, and maybe if we draw like an Overwhelming Barrage, we'll have a chance. Right? Maybe if we draw an Overwhelming Barrage, we'll have a chance. I mean, if we make a big Corrupt Politician, that's going to be pretty nuts. I mean, they can just attack and generate a bunch of units here, right? Like attack, generate a TIE Fighter token, maybe play another 1-drop if they have it, and then, move on, right? Not really a whole lot of decision making here for the Vader player. I think you just attack. I mean, I don't know I guess maybe they have a 1-drop to play. Like maybe they have another attack run or something. Attack run's kind of spicy. It's not something you really see in Vaders all that often, but waiting for my opponent to kind of figure out what they want to do, I guess. Overwhelming Barrage or bust at this point, like I had mentioned many times. Okay. Waiting for our opponent to do whatever it is that they want to do. Don't know if they're... like I said, I don't know if there's anything that they need to make a decision on. Yep, they play their 1-drop. They attack, they create a TIE Fighter token. That's kind of what I was mentioning. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're kind of gaming. We're kind of gaming. Yeah, let's go ahead and give an experience token over to the corrupt politician. Overrunning Barrage, like I said, this is the only way we have a chance. Oh, Victor Leader again. All right, we have to go for just one more. Wow, another Victor Leader. What a draw from our opponent. Jeez. I mean, maybe we pick up a huge play here. So we're gonna go 4-1-1-1. So we did wipe a lot of their board presence out. So Rolling Barrage still good, right? Still good. We're gonna hit in for 7. Pass. Oh, okay. So I mean, this is getting a little risky, right? It's getting a little risky. How do we win? Because we need to go for the win on this turn. So they've got, if they have Overwhelming Barrage, it's pretty bad for us. We can't quite win, but we will go Emergency Powers on the Corrupt Politician, because that, with 2 attacks, can win. And now they have to answer one of these, because we do win with just these 2. I mean, Emergency Powers and that clutch Overwhelming Barrage on that turn was pretty nuts. That was pretty good drawing. I mean, Emergency Powers we've had for a while, but that Overwhelming Barrage, right when we needed it, like I said, Overwhelming Barrage are bust. Craving Power, that's not good enough, right? I'm very happy I went with the Emergency Powers first, because I figured that they have something, and now they have to look. They have to look for something to stop this Corrupt Politician. There's a lot of answers. Sanctioner Shuttle, right? Can do it. Waylay, No Good to Me Dead. All of those are answers. Another Craving Power, and we end up getting the win. Wow, that was so close. That Corrupt Politician was 1 damage away. I am very happy I decided to go with the Snoke deploy attack before I went with the Ring Barrage to get that 1 extra power. Otherwise, we would have lost our Corrupt Politician. So every little tiny decision mattered there. Wow, that was really close. Really close. Alrighty, into the next game. And you know what? We're going to keep this hand. I like this one quite a bit. You know, I think I'm going to resource the Space Arena package and just go with the Dark Trooper and the Super Laser Technician here. If they do decide to go ahead and drop, you know, the experience token over on Gunji, it's very likely that I will just power the Dark Side it. And then we will definitely hit the Sundari Peacekeeper so they can't generate the Force. Seems pretty solid. Seems pretty solid. Now, they kind of are forced to kill the Imperial Dark Trooper at this point. So that ends up being pretty good for us. And then we have a good payoff, right? Super Laser Technician is going to ramp us into the Snoke, which is going to be pretty solid. I mean, they have to attack our Dark Trooper, right? Yeah, we knew that. We knew that. Okay, Super Laser Technician coming in. We're going to put an experience token on it. They're going to be able to put something into play next turn that's going to be big. I mean, there's much we could do about that, to be honest. Corrupt Politician going to be the resource here. We've got a couple Sentinels here. I don't like our position anymore with the Jedi Consular here. We'll see what my opponent's got. I mean, they could deploy Keller and Beck this turn. That's kind of gross. Ooh, Keller and Beck would be pretty bad for us. Not going to lie. Oh, Queen Amidala is not nearly as bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack into Queen Amidala. They can sacrifice a spy token in order to save the Queen Amidala, but we wanted the extra resource here, so that's going to end up working out. Let's go ahead and deploy Snoke. See if they decide to attack Snoke. I think that would be a pretty good play by them. Maybe they won't decide to attack Snoke. Okay, let's go ahead and attack in, get an experience token. All right, and then let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So now they have to defeat the spy token at least. And then we're going to have Maul next turn, which is going to be pretty good. Okay, they're just going to take it into Queen Amidala. Makes sense, to be honest. Cruel Commandos, Pike Sentinel. You know, I like the Cruel Commandos. I'm actually going to resource the Dark Trooper here. We'll see what my opponent has as a follow-up. For some reason, I was thinking, yeah, we gotta deal 1 damage to the Queen Amidala, but honestly, I probably should have just went. I don't know if there's really a great Overwhelming Barrage target there, to be honest. Ooh, another big play. Oh, I mean, this is getting pretty rough for us, to be honest. Getting pretty rough. I mean, I can go with another Overwhelming Barrage and Pike Sentinel. Yeah, let's go with Pike Sentinel here. Because I'm going to go with Overwhelming Barrage again. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and... So what do I want to do? I can go... Let's go ahead and kill off the spy token. Because I want to be able to get rid of this Padme. And we're going to go Overwhelming Barrage. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. And then pass. At some point, they're not going to have anything to play with the Jedi Concert. At least that's the thought. And then in the meantime, we're growing our Snoke. I mean, they could draw like a Rival's Fall, which would be pretty bad for us, of course. But I mean, there's not much that we can do about that. I mean, again, Jedi Concert's getting so much value here. And we kind of just have to deal with all the units that they're playing. Padme doing some absolute work. Double Overwhelming Barrage is a crazy draw, too. Like, I mean, we've drawn super well. And we're still struggling. The Jedi Concert, like I said, that was kind of the key factor here. All right, we're going to go... They probably have Luke. That's probably why they attack. So we're going to attack because then they now have to attack into Snoke in order to kill it with Luke, right? Again, I'm just thinking that they have Luke here. That's my thought. That's why we immediately attacked. Because otherwise Luke would be able to kill us. But now we go -6, -6. Oh, perfect. Let's go immediate Maul, ambush. They're going to be able to Luke for their Maul, for the Maul kill, right? But we still are left with Snoke. Exactly like I thought they had. Okay. You know, I'm just not going to resource anything. I don't see a reason to resource anything. I think I just ignore their units. I know it's a little bit risky because their Luke can start restoring a bunch, but this kind of puts a lot of pressure onto them because the Snoke does just kill them straight up. They could have a second Luke. They could attack Luke again, and that would be obnoxious. But we can deploy out multiple units here, which is going to be pretty good. So we go Cruel Commandos to block Luke. They're trying to kill our Snoke with the Luke. So we are kind of really hampering their game plan here. They're giving an experience token. You know, maybe they have an answer. So let's go with a TIE Fighter. The way they're playing this makes me think that they may have an answer. They do. They have a Fell the Dragon. Yikes. Yikes. All right. I mean, they are still in the game, technically. I mean, ooh. Oh, that's good. That is good stuff. I like that. I don't want to go with emergency powers yet because they're playing Fell the Dragon. So, like, I know this doesn't allow us to win, but maybe, like, without... Okay, they don't have Fell the Dragon resources anymore. So now we're going to go with emergency powers. Boom. I freaking love that card. Wow, that was really, really close. It was really, really important that I, knew that the Luke was going to be played. Because if I had just, kind of done my thing and just gone with a Maul or whatever, we would have lost Snoke and that would have been GG for sure. Fellow Dragon was really, really close, right? They had the Luke and the Jar Jar to be able to kill my Snoke and the Fellow Dragon to deal with my Sentinel, but we drew really, really well, right? Double Overwhelming Barrage was critical. If we didn't have that, the game would have been completely over. So, very, very close game and well played to my opponent. Into the next matchup, we've got our matchup up against Anakin. Now, this is actually a really, really tough matchup for us. Exceptionally tough. What I'm going to do here is... Oh, man, they could have, like, Jedi Starfighter. I think I want to go, like, all space here. a little bit odd, but if they have a space unit on turn 1, it's going to be horrible for us. Like, it's going to be like GG type level. If they have a ground unit, I'm much happier, because now what I can do is go ahead and drop in the Wingman Victor 2. We got Supremacy Tie, Cruel Commandos. This axe could be relevant. I'm going to resource the Supremacy Tie, though. We're going to go into space because my opponent has less space units to deal with what we're doing with. And the problem with growing our units in the ground is that, like, let's say we had an Imperial Dark Trooper here and we had the initiative. Let's just say. We get a 4/4, they can kill it with Gunji and have Gunji live. It's just so bad for us. Like, this is a horrible matchup. So we need to dodge as many units as we possibly can, and then hopefully win that way. Now, the reason I decided to do this is because now if they deploy, let's say, a Red 5, or let's say they deploy a Jedi Starfighter, we can get an experience token on the First Order TIE Fighter, and then be able to knock out their unit. So let's just start with the TIE Fighter attack. Just get in for 1. We'll see what they decide to do. There's the Red 5, like I had expected. I mean, we don't really have too many options here. We're going to be able to, we're going to attack in, because that's kind of all we can do right now. So Super Laser Technician is real good, but I think we have to resource it here. So they do have the space unit. But now at least we can, actually kill their unit, right? Otherwise we would be really far behind. So they could go ahead and attack in and kill the TIE Fighter if they want. If they do that, then they probably lose their Red 5. I mean, I'm going to try to ignore their units as much as possible. My opponent, take a little while to make a decision on the resource here. Let's see. Oh, maybe they DC'd. Oh, nope, they didn't. I'm always worried when I see the 20 seconds to take an action before being kicked. Okay, they're going to go ahead and attack in. Makes sense to me. Let's go ahead and get an attack in with a TIE Fighter. It's still not a great start, by the way. This is just kind of what we're limited to because our strategy is just so bad against what they're doing. Against their leader, to be honest, is the kicker here. Let's see what they're going to do as a follow-up. Decided to play the Supremacy TIE first. Bounty Hunter's Quarry. All right, well, if they have like open fire, it's going to be kind of rough for us. Huh, interesting. What could they have here that would kill my unit? Open fire would be one. I think if I put an experience token on my unit immediately, they're going to be unlikely to be able to kill the Supremacy TIE. This turn, at least. That's the thought, anyways. And then we can get down the axe. Let's go ahead and hit in with the TIE Fighter here. We'll see what the opponent has. I mean, again, lane dodging was pretty important this turn, or this game. Okay, we're going to go and play Axe here. Again, emergency powers would be sick. If we get an emergency powers now, we might actually just win. So, fingers crossed. They've got Queen Amidala. Okay, so they're going to go start being very, very aggressive, and now it's a race. Now it's an absolute race. We're going to pass. Oh, no. Okay. No emergency powers, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Darth Vader can be pretty good. We have double Sentinel here, which is pretty good as well. I mean, we are going to be able to Sentinel up, which is going to be solid. I'm hoping they're going to attack with Queen Amidala here before anything else, but I mean, all their units can kill this Cruel Commandos, really, right? Because of the Anakin action. Captain Typho. Interesting. I mean, they can Cobb Vanth kill my unit, right? So that's going to be pretty rough if they do go that path. This Captain Typho is actually pretty brutal. See what they decide to do. I mean, honestly, they just hit base, right? With the Sentinel, they just hit base for sure. No doubt in my mind that they just hit base. We're racing. Cruel Commandos can absorb a hit from Cobb Vance, but that's not even that great, right? Not even great. We can... I guess we'll hit in with the axe. If my opponent decides to kill the axe, I am okay with it. We're kind of in a spot where we kind of just have to do this. If we drew an overwhelming barrage, we might have had a different path in this game, but we didn't, so we're kind of stuck. Now, we can potentially still win, right? Like, I'm going to deploy Snoke here. I'm going to get in an attack. They don't have anything to reveal, which is kind of what we just hit with Axe, so they didn't have a command card to reveal. Otherwise, they would have healed one, which is actually really nice. We're going to attack Captain Typho, get an experience token. They're probably going to use the Anakin action to kill Snoke. Oh, they're just going to race. Okay. I mean, this is pretty rough for us anyways, because this is going to be an 8-powered Anakin. So they overwhelm through for 3, which means we lost. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much that we can do. Their board is just too good. The Typho was actually really key there. I mean, they just deploy Anakin attack, right? And then next turn they attack again. So it's GG. There's nothing that we can do, really. That Typho was really critical there. Emergency powers is so close, man. It's so close. There's no way we can win, right? Oh, man, we could have had like a 13-powered axe. That would have been so fun. I mean, I guess we could put up a bunch of sentinels if we draw like a phase 3. No, phase 3 still loses. Yeah, it's GG. Well, yeah, it's GG. Overwhelmed with Anakin, just too much. Good game to my opponent. Alrighty, into the next game here. We've got ourselves a reasonable hand. I might just go all in on this Hylobon Enforcer. It seems like that might be the game plan here. Resource the Elia Kane and the Wingman. Get ourselves a powered up Hylobon. Axe. Oh, I mean, that kind of changes the game plan, huh? Axe plus emergency powers is now the new game plan. Let's go ahead and just get an extra power on my Hylobon Enforcer and see what my opponent decides to do. I mean, they could drop a big capital ship here, which would be pretty good. But... ooh, Cyril Karn, huh? That's a weird one. And another Gonk. Interesting. That's really odd, actually. Okay, they're going to be able to Gonk away. Let's go ahead and knock out the Gonk. I mean, we can't have them playing like massive units this turn. That's just too much for us, right? Too much. Okay. What do I want to do here? I think I'll just go phase 3 Dark Trooper, because now they can't really attack with Cyril Karn. I mean, I'm just going to discard a card, like, guaranteed. Devastator, Planetary Bombardment. Obviously a very scary card. We're definitely discarding. Putting an experience token over on the phase 3, and they conceded. Okay, maybe they forgot that was an option for me to just... I don't know what the game plan is, but they double Gong. I was a little bit worried about that. Hylobon ended up being really good there. I was like, okay, if we just last their turn, next turn I can go emergency powers. 8 experience on this, and I'm hitting for 10, 15, 19 damage. And they can't even deploy a big capital ship, because I might even just kill Piet if I wanted to. I mean, that is incredible. So, very, very good start for us. Obviously, Gonk droids and Cyril Karns are exactly what we want to see up against Piet. We don't want to see, like, Super Player's Technician and resupply and things like that. So, Good stuff. Time for an classic matchup here. I don't know if I care for this hand. I'm gonna mulligan this one. I do like this one a lot more, actually. Elia Kane, we're gonna go for the game plan of just deploying a It's so over. Oh, it's so over. It is what it is. Not much we can do. Oh, it's so over. Grogu's just what do we do? Oh my gosh, the Grogu is so disgusting. What a disgusting play. Oh my gosh. I mean, how are we ever supposed to play the game? Like, how are we ever supposed to play the game? Holy moly, it's so gross. It is so gross. Guys, I don't even want to play this match anymore. I mean, this is so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Oh my gosh. I'm playing through it. I promise. But oh my gosh, is this so gross. I mean, we just have to go all in on the... Oh my gosh, they even have a chariot. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? They just... Oh my gosh. So gross. I mean, we just have to start trusting in the supremacy tie is going to take us all the way, right? Not a whole lot that we can do about it. We're going to be able to deploy Snoke this turn. Going to be able to deploy Snoke, get an experience token on the supremacy tie, attack, get another experience token on the supremacy tie, and then maybe emergency powers next turn and win the game. Again, I'm not conceding. I'm not going to. But if they have like a Fel the Dragon, I'm going to be pretty sad. Pretty sad. And I'm sure they do, right? I'm sure they do. Poe Dameron. All right. I mean, they're going to heal up and do their Poe Dameron thing, you know? Experience token again. Oh, that's a risky play. That's a really risky play. Because now we have 8 damage, which kills Han and Poe. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, they could have a Fel the Dragon still, right? They could still have a Fel the Dragon. They have a Rival's Fall. Yep, not much that we could do about that. I mean, we claim, right? Not much that we can do. All right, we'll keep all of our cards in hand here. We're going to go Power the Dark Side, get rid of the Grogu. Again, not much that we can do in this spot. Okay, we're going to go Hylabon Enforcer, Experience Token, Corrupt Politician, pass. Oh, 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 oh. You know what? You know what? We might have a game plan here, guys. We might have a game plan. If they have a Fel the Dragon, they have a Fel the Dragon. Force Lightning. Oh, it's so gross. So freaking gross. So sick of these Han blue decks, guys. Oh! Just concede. Gee, just concede. Just concede. I mean, it was already gross to begin with, but the fact that they had every single answer, no demand there. Oh, I mean, I could have emergency powers for more, but I figured it was more likely for them to have a Rival's Fall or Fel the Dragon over something like Force Lightning or Anakin to deal with that. Grogu, man. Oh, if they didn't have Grogu on turn, I think we would have had a really good shot at that game. But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so gross. As soon as I saw the Grogu, I was like, ah, man, this game stinks. All right, everyone. What did we learn with Snoke? Well, it was actually a lot of fun, and it actually performed pretty well. There's a couple of new additions to the deck, of course. You know, you've got cards like Corrupt Politician, Emergency Powers, Imperial Dark Trooper, Cruel Commandos, Elia Kane. So actually quite a few additions. I really like cards like the Corrupt Politician. Just being this like 3/3 that gives you a little bit extra value. We saw Emergency Powers pop off a couple of times. Absolutely pop off. Obviously, the combination of Emergency Powers and Overwhelming Barrage is really, really strong. The biggest thing, though, is that the format right now is still so heavy with removal. I mean, you've got like so many Felder Dragons, Power of the Dark Side. You've got cards like Anakin that are just going to dominate you because you're trying to put experience tokens on things. Now they're 2/5s have extra 2 power because they're Anakin action. This deck is up against it. It is up against it, but we did perform pretty well. I think, you could probably change a lot of the options here. Like you could probably drop all the wingmans. I thought it would be kind of interesting to try to go with that additional space kind of game plan, and just go other space units, like adding some other 3 or 4 cost space units and going that direction. Because there are game plans where, because you have that extra experience token whenever you want, getting extra space units and kind of lane dodging is a completely viable strategy. So, well, it was a lot of fun. We did make some big units. Didn't go with the X, emergency powers in any of the games. My opponents just ended up having to deal with it. So I guess we'll let them pass. But otherwise, we had some good time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all for the next one.